Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome back to E20 Zone TV on this late night video. What a weekend. Do you know what I'm saying? I thought we was going to be all right, and then wankers decided to let us down. Do you know what I'm saying? I hope everyone's all well out there and doing good. West Ham had a great result on Saturday, and I was really happy, and I thought, you know what, this might be the moment. And then Nottingham Forest play like prime Brazil, and Leeds tonight get away with a draw at Merseyside. I don't know where to start really. Obviously, there's so much that's happened over the last sort of 18 hours. Like Lucas Paqueta looking like he's out the door. Right, it's been confirmed. You got Guido Rodriguez, who's gone to Valencia. You know, there's so much that's gone on, and you know, it is. I'm a little bit concerned by these results that's happened over the weekend, because now we're going to have to go to Chelsea and we're going to have to get a result. As simple as that. Like, if we're going to stand the Premier League, we're going to have to go to Chelsea and at least try and get a draw at the game. So, you know, chuck your comments in. I read them out. I go for about half hour. So this is like a solo one tonight. And yeah, listen. Obviously the Lucas Paqueta thing's been confirmed. It's looking like it's about 37.8 million pounds, I think it is, to Flamingo. You know, it is one of them ones really where I look at this and I think we need to start getting some signs in the door right now. Do you know what I'm saying? This week's big. This week is massive. Honestly, you can't stress enough how big this week is in regards to personnel and players that we need. Do you know what I mean? I know we're trying to get rid of players, obviously Deadwood in the side, but James Ward-Prowse will come back and save Nuno's bacon. Do you know what I'm saying? Let's get to a couple of comments. Palace will get dragged into the relegation dogfight, in my opinion. They will do, mate. They will do, but you know, I really thought this weekend was it. I really did. Yeah. I look at next weekend. Palace have obviously got Forest at City Ground. Leeds have got Arsenal and we've got Chelsea. Of all the times for us to have a game, right? Leeds have got Arsenal at Ellen Road and we've got fucking Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. You know, you can't make it up. I just can't fucking believe it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I really can't. I really can't. Dan says, thanks Everton and Brentford. I can't believe Brentford, mate. I really can't. Strong home form. They've been good all season at home. Forest go there. One thing that I will say about Nottingham Forest is they've got two centre halves who know how to fucking defend. I'll give them that. Their centre half pairing is pretty solid, and they're going to keep a lot of clean sheets and things like that. And that's where we're going fucking wrong at the minute. Do you know what I'm saying? I truly think Paqueta and Guilherme's money has been spent already on Tati and Pablo. Well, we're going to find out, mate. I don't think so, because obviously the Lewis Guilherme money and everything, it's not about how much we spend. It's more the fact, are we going to get the right players in for this relegation dogfight that we're in? That's the $1 million question here. Right, are we going to have enough time to get these players in, get them climatised in? Now, the two boys who have come in, since they've been in, we've been unbeaten. You know what I mean? Like, against QPR, Pablo come in, he's done really well. And Castellanos obviously scored against QPR. You know, Tottenham was good. It was a good result. And obviously the result at the weekend. I fucking can't believe, though, that the two main teams that we're trying to catch managed to get points. Do you know what I mean? That's one thing that they're doing, and I give them their due. They're winning points when they have to. Do you know what I'm saying? Like Forest the other day going to Brentford. That's tough, mate. We don't ever win at Brentford. And you know, Leeds tonight. I watched Leeds in the first half. That was very good, right? I watched Leeds in the second half, and they were shaky as fuck, big time, big time. And it felt like Everton was putting all the pressure on them. They cracked, and Everton should have scored another one. They hit the crossbar and all. I don't know. Like when people say to me about Leeds, yeah, they say, "Oh, Leeds are going to get dragged into this, James." They don't see it with Leeds yet. I don't know, mate. That first half performance was fucking good. Was really good. I couldn't believe what I was watching. Right, I couldn't believe I was watching the side that was it 16th in the league. Do you know what I mean? It was like, it was baffling me. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? They're like pumping the ball around and pass and move, and obviously Dominic Calvert-Lewin up front. It's all working out well for them. The only thing we can do is keep winning games, right? And I got a message from someone who said to me, James, this reminds me of 2003. And I sort of remember 2003 when we had to win games. We would go and win a game, and then these teams would go and win or draw a game. And it feels like that at the minute. Um, let's get to Tony's comments. Shout out to Tony Andrews. West Ham can win at Chelsea. I think we're going to have to go there and not lose, mate. I think this is a must not lose game situation now. Um, Obviously, we can't get relegated this weekend. Yeah, and we've got 15 games to play. The issue is, what I'm a bit concerned about is West Ham have won back to back games, and we're no further forward, like getting close to these teams. Like these teams are, you know, still there, still in the mire. Do you know what I mean? And we're fucking nowhere near it. And it's like it's a bit of a pain in the fucking arse, if I'm honest. Let's get to Colin's comment. Evening, James. How are you doing, mate? I'm worried about the two Manchester teams coming up against us. We at least 4 points. Even better, we get six. We need bodies in here. We're going to hijack. No, we ain't getting Pepe, mate. He's got an injury. He's got a broken arm, I think. So that ain't happening. Um, Listen, the Man United game. One thing that West Ham are known for is getting up for Man United at home. Yeah, every single time. Um, I think it'll be a game where it's a night game, so it will benefit us. It's on TV. It's going to be hostile. Obviously, they're buzzing at the minute. And you know what I said about Michael Carrick a year ago? I put a tweet out last night and I went, "This is what I writ about Michael Carrick." And I said West Ham needed to go and get him. He's a fucking good manager. Do you know what I mean? Forget what he done at Borough. Yeah, I look at what he does in the Premier League, and how he sort of transformed that side in the space of 12 days is beyond a joke. If I'm speaking the truth. So you know, um, I think he's a very good manager. I think he's a bit like Arteta for me, but he's not as good. He's not as good. I think if you give him time and the resources, he can be a really good manager. He really could, and he proved it the other day. Right, he's no nonsense. He's there to try and win. He throws players on to try and win games. You know, it is what it is. Forest will go 8 points clear. Do you know what? At this stage, it's just a case of us just keep winning games and hoping that certain teams are going to collapse. Now there is key games in there. Um, Only West Ham can be involved in a title race. Do you know what I'm saying? West Ham have got to play Villa, Man City, Arsenal, right? Um, Obviously we've got Arsenal and Man City at home, Villa away. I can't see us getting many points out of them. If we get 3 points out of them games, I'll be over the moon. And then we've got the likes of Wolves, Burnley, Leeds. We've got to win them games. It's as simple as that. We've just got to make sure that we win them games, and you know we're there or thereabouts. But it's very deflating when you're seeing these teams seem to go up another gear. Do you know what I'm saying? And I do look back at that Christmas period and think 1 point out of a possible 12 was such a missed opportunity for everyone. Do you know what I mean? Fulham, Brighton, Wolves away is a killer. That's the one that killed us, and also the Forest game. That's another one that killed us a little bit. And if you sort of weigh up the VAR calls that we've had, the bad VAR calls that we've had, also with the likes of Brighton away, Forest at home, etc., that's 6 points. That's us literally level on points with them. Do you know what I mean? So it is a kick in the bollocks, I must admit. Jazz, hope you're well, mate. Another kick in the nuts as Forest will now sign Mateta as we're chasing them. I'll be surprised if they sign him, mate. I really will. I can't see, can I see him going there? Money talks, I guess. But you know, is what it is. Bournemouth away was another killer, James. That's the start of it, mate. For me, I look at I can accept the Bournemouth. No, I can accept the Brentford at home Leeds away one. Yeah, because I think he was just coming into the job. I think he was ill-advised, Nuno, in regards of players and things. But the Bournemouth away one's the one that's going to kill me. That's the one that's doing the damage. That's another 3 points that we've just let go. The issue is now I don't think he's got no room to sort of manoeuvre. There is positives though, and I will say this: there is positives, and one of the positives is that we are scoring goals now, which is a good thing, right? We still are not keeping no clean sheets, and I look at like Leeds and Forest as the closest two. Like Forest at the weekend, done the job, got the win, clean sheet. West Ham just not keeping no fucking clean sheets. So really, we're going to have to score like 2 or 3 goals to win a game, right? And this is where the ownership need to back him and say, right, listen, all right, we're just going to back you in, and if they're going to gamble, fuck it, right, let's have a gamble. Do you know what I'm saying? I understand what Stuart's saying in the chat there, right? I get that. Need to catch Palace. They're imploding. Now, the one thing with Palace is they are imploding. We do play them, but will they sack their manager before it gets too bad? Do you know what I'm saying? We play them away in, I think it's the back end of March, beginning of April, I think, around that time. And it might even be the end of April. And for me, if we can get to as close to them as possible, then great. Do you know what I'm saying? The issue is that I've got right now is West Ham are actually in good form. And we're nowhere near fucking catching these teams because we've left it too late to a point. So all I can do is hope and hope that we can get a result at the weekend against Chelsea because I think Chelsea's tough. Like, I think Chelsea have got a big game Wednesday night against Napoli. I think they're going to be fucked for that. I've also looked that they've got a Carabao Cup second round fixture on the following Tuesday. So Saturday night against us might be a prime opportunity to go there and have a right go at Chelsea. Yeah, and really sort of, we're going to have to win one of these games. Right, if we're going to stay up, we're going to have to win one of these games. We're going to have to go to fucking Chelsea and win, or Villa and win, or fucking somewhere else and win. Like, wherever it is, we're going to have to win one of these games. One of these games that we're not expected to win, we're going to have to win. To put right, because obviously the weekend, fucking Leeds have got fucking Arsenal of all the times to play. So um, Disassi from Chelsea apparently in talks along with Traore. Um, I don't care who's at centre half, mate. I wouldn't mind Disassi. He was actually linked to come to West Ham many moons ago. I think Noble was looking at him in France when he was out in France, and we was going to look to get him. Obviously, Chelsea got him and paid him a lot of dough. I don't give a fuck who's at the back, mate, but we just need to keep clean sheets. Like, it is that simple. Do you know what I mean? We start keeping clean sheets, we win games. I see people on social media tonight turn around and saying, basically, well, what about the goal difference? I'm not being funny. We've got 15 games left, right? If we go and win, let's say 6 of them, we're going to have to make sure we score some goals in them. Do you know what I mean? I think I said the other week, before we played Spurs, I said West Ham need 9 wins to stay up. I still stand by that. Yeah, we've done 2 of them already. We've got 7 to go. Now, I've looked at the fixtures and I can see 5 there. And there's 2 wins we've got to find from somewhere. Like Fulham away, we're going to have to go to Fulham away and win. Like, it's as simple as that. We can't draw that game. We have to win that game. And maybe the handbrake might be off. Let's get to exponential anger. Hope you're well, mate, out there, man. All good, John. Evening, James. I've been beaten into a long speculation of what should be done. I'm just buckling up and watching. Sullivan truly has abused us into PTSD by now. Yeah, mate. Yeah, he's fucked us, mate, ain't he? Let's be real. Do you know what I mean? The fans don't deserve it, mate. I'm going to be straight. The fans don't deserve it. They were conned, yeah? And as I said a year and a half ago, when people wanted change, yeah, there's okay having change. I get that. You want change, fine. Go and get change. But the only change that I've ever wanted in this club is fucking Sullivan out the door because I know that he'll ruin anything that's happening. The issue is that the change and the consistent change, and I've never known West Ham like this. All the years I've supported this club, yeah, we've had managers and we've sacked managers, don't get me wrong, but going through three managers in 18 months is borderline taking the piss. Like that shows me that's lack of organisation, lack of vision, lack of ambition, lack of everything, if I'm being truthfully honest. And, I find it I actually find it quite sickening the way this club's being fucking run. Obviously, people are protesting now, and people are trying to make a change. But I think the protests that are happening, I just don't think are going to do the damage, mate. I really don't. Sometimes I think when with protests and things like this, you have to be cruel to be kind. Like it's as simple as that. You're gonna have to be cruel to be kind, and you're gonna have to sort of do it for the greater good. Now, I understand the card protest for the situation West Ham are currently in, because anything that's negative might affect the players, and obviously we're trying to stay in the league. The issue is that whatever happens this season, drastic changes need to be made. Whether it's if we stay up, he's got to fucking go, or if we go down. The issue I've got is if West Ham do go down this year, which I'm literally on a fucking string at the minute. I was so confident over the weekend that the results would go the way they want. I'm completely the fucking opposite. Um, the way it is right now, if we go down, I've got no faith that this Sullivan's out the door. Right, Jimmy, I really don't. People will say, you know what, he will sell up, he will go, right? He ain't going nowhere, mate. He's got too much of a fucking big asset there. And the only time he's ever going to go is when his assets at his full highest, and that's Premier League. Like, do you know what I mean? That's why we need to stay in the Premier League. It is so important that West Ham stay in the Premier League this year. And for me, um, it's a mountain at the minute. Do you know what I'm saying? Especially with these teams who seem like they're playing like 1970s fucking Brazil. Do you know what I'm saying? Um, does Nuno walk if we go down? I've got a feeling. I've got a feeling he stays, mate. I don't know why. I've just got a feeling. I've got a feeling he's turned around and told the board, if West Ham go down, I'll be here. Now, if we go down, is it all Nuno's fault? No. Well, I'll be honest. Yeah, I don't like the geezer really. If I'm being truthfully honest, I don't like the way he conducts himself in interviews. I think he you give him a question and he goes through it. He just blags you, right? I think his man management skills are shit. If I'm being truthfully honest, by the way he's dealt with the James Ward-Prowse thing, and then he's on the bench on Saturday because he's getting rid of everyone else. There's a lot really with Nuno, and he's got to do a lot to prove me wrong. He really has. But if he's here next year, he's the best opportunity that we've got of getting out the championship. It's as simple as that. Like he's the one that he's the best one to get us out the championship because he's done it before, and he will have the resources and he will have his team. Um, I just hope we don't leave it too fucking late this year. Like I look at people like Matthias Fernandez, he'll be gone. Bowen, it'd be a complete reset of West Ham. It's a complete utter reset and straight back to factory settings, mate. That's what it'll be. Adam, how you doing, mate? Hope you're well. I think 5 wins and a couple of draws will do the trick. I think Spurs and Palace will be dragged in. 38 points right now is the target. That's what Gio said the other day. Funny enough, shout out to Gio. He turned and said, I put like a super chat in, and he turned around and said that he's aiming for 38 points. I think West Ham need to get to 40. If I'm being honest, I don't think 38 is going to be enough. I think West Ham need to win 7 games out of the next 15, which is a fucking mountain. And as I've said earlier on, I can see us doing 5. I think 5's there. But then, do you know what? Nothing would surprise me with this club because I didn't think West Ham would beat Spurs, and they have. I knew they would beat Sunderland. You know, it's it's going to be interesting to see what's really going to happen. James, we should have brought Yemez in a while back because I believe he has a lot of influence over the way we are playing now. I'm hearing the players love him. One thing that did come out over the weekend was he was highlighted, wasn't he, for the Max Kilman substitution. He turned and said it's a negative substitution to do at 3-1 to go and bring a defender on, which is true. which is true. Right, where this fucking geezer was before, right? Why he wasn't brought in before? But then who do you blame on that? Do you blame the ownership of the club, or do you blame Nuno? I blame the ownership of the club on that one. I'm afraid. I think the ownership of the club should have given Nuno his players. Simple as that, and his staff. He's given two players at the minute and one fucking assistant. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Damien DeMarco's in the chat. Good evening. Hope you're well, mate. Um, what's that one there? Let's have a look. Uh, he didn't want to sit back and defend. He wanted to go and attack more. This is the problem that we've got with Nuno, though, isn't it? Is that he's a defensive minded manager. He's a sort of 1-0 up, 2-0 up, shut up shop. Let's see it out. The problem is, I looked at the goal difference tonight. We're on -18. Forest are on -11, and I think Leeds are on -7. So we're going to need to start scoring some fucking goals. I know that for certain. If we don't, we're going to be stuck. What we got here? Let's have a look. If we can manage 1 point at Chelsea, I'd be quite happy. Yes, 3 would be awesome, but realistically, a point would feel like a win. I think if we get a point at Chelsea, I'll be able to moon, mate. It, as long as Leeds lose and Forest don't beat, well, Forest have got Palace. You know what I'm saying? So, well, what's the chances on that happening? Like, we need. I'm not being funny. We actually need a Palace win there, really, deep down to keep them close. Because if they go and win there, they'll be 9 points clear of us, or 8 points if we draw. So there's a lot of mathematics on it. Good result, 1-1 Leeds keeps us in there. Yeah, I know. 6 points or 7 really when you look at the goal difference. The thing is, what people have been saying to me is that West Ham need to get to the final game and basically be within 2 points of Leeds. All right, so that's Leeds dropping, losing, and we winning. I looked at Leeds' last few games. They've got some fucking tough old fixtures. I mean, like really tough. I think they got Chelsea away. They got Man United away. I'm gonna have a look at them there, quick, yeah, because I've gone through both sets. I really have, and you know, trying to figure it out. Right, Leeds' last 4 games, right, are as follows. They've got Burnley at home, Spurs away, Brighton at home, us away. So by the time they get to the final 4, you'd fancy him to beat Burnley, who will be relegated by then. Spurs away, yeah. You don't know where Spurs will be come then. And then Brighton will be a dead game because Brighton will be mid-table, 10th, maybe 9th, and on the beach. I'm doing good, mate. Thanks for asking. In that case, we need 6 wins, 2 draws. As hard as it is, we need to focus on our own game and not others. Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's just, do you know what? I couldn't believe it on Sunday. I really couldn't. I sat there. I went to the pub and watched it, and I just couldn't believe that fucking Forest turned them over. I really couldn't. And so many people said to me, "said James, I didn't see that one coming at all." And I was like, a team that never fucking loses at home against a team that is pretty shit in a minute, and played 2 games in 72 hours. Madness. What else we got? Let's have a look. Chuck your comments in. Anything you like. Be nice. That's what Wolves fans were saying. That his man management was poor for them. Yeah, I am a little bit concerned with Nuno. Do you know what? I don't think Carrick will get the job at United. I think they're going to aim for someone big like Tuchel or Luis Enrique or someone like that. Go and get Carrick, mate. He's the guy. I've been saying it for a long time. You need to bring someone who understands the club and who's up for the challenge. And I think he would be at West Ham. Do you know what I mean? He'll be idolised by a lot of people my age. He will understand the academy of football Um, do you know what? Even yeah, even that I'll just take for now. We've got to do something. That's basically what it is. We've got to do something. Um, I'd keep half that Paqueta money back at least towards wages in case of relegation. Look to keep better players. Well, do you know what they've got to do? First thing they've got to do is get rid of this fucking loan for Igor. That's the first thing they've got to do. They've got to get rid of that guy because he's fucking shit. Do you know what I'm saying? Right? He's pointless. Yeah, I'll terminate the loan. I'd go and get the Sassy if that's the guy they're going to go after. Um, someone else mentioned Tyrone Mings, right, from Villa. I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind Mings. I wouldn't mind Ethan Pinnock either. Pinnock's not a bad player. He's a sort of player that West Ham fans will get on well with him. Yeah, because I think he gets stuck in, and his player's not scared to put his head on the ball. Um, I see Lascelles get mentioned, and I know I was like, for fuck's sake, he's injury prone. But whatever the scenario is, he has to have his players. Do you know what I'm saying? Um, I think next weekend is so big, right? Not. I think it's big for so many reasons. Because obviously Leeds play Forest at Ellen Road. Yeah, I don't even know which way I want that to go now. I really don't. Do I want it to be a draw? Do I want it to be Nottingham Forest? I don't know because come come that game, we're going to know how far behind we're going to be. Because what it is technically, when we play Burnley, um, on that weekend, if we beat Burnley, we were technically relegate Burnley there and then, right? Because we'd be 9 points ahead of them if my maths is right. And yeah, that will be that. Table is no tight. Is not tight. Table is no tight this season. Even 13th to 8th, 5 points separating. We have dropped 14 points under Nuno from winning positions, which would have had us on 34 points, 4 points off fourth. When you look at it like that, it's that's the positive outlook way of looking at it. There's so many games we've let go this year. Like so many. So many. But it's going to be interesting to see what they do in regards to this week, though, because obviously they ain't going to go and sign to Sassy this week because he won't be able to play against Chelsea because that's his parent club. So I think we need a central midfielder in there and all. I think we're getting rid of so many midfielders, but then that's why James Ward-Prowse is back in, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? Mr. Prowse. I think these 5 or 6 potential games we need to win are Burnley away, agree. Bournemouth, yep. Wolves, Palace, Everton, Leeds, potentially Brentford away as well. I think Fulham away is in there. I think Fulham's the other one that I've looked at and I thought that's a night game. I think it's like the 4th of March. Why is the 4th of March ringing in my ear? The 4th of March is I think when West Ham play Fulham. And I think that's a winnable game and all. Right. We don't do bad at Craven Cottage. Right. I know we got hammered there a few years ago under Moyes, and people say, oh, yeah, look at that one. But every time I've remember West Ham have gone there and actually got decent results at Fulham. So you look at Fulham, look at Brentford, but then somehow we're going to have to get a fucking result against one of these big hitters. Do you know what I mean? What would give us peace of mind is if we did go and beat Chelsea this week, because we know we've got them games to come. And, I've got a feeling he will. I wonder what Nuno's going to do. I really do, because I think he's going to go back to a back five at the weekend. I've got a feeling he's going to go back to a back five. I think he's going to play Skulls, Mavropanos, and Tadibo in the back three, and have Juve and Wan-Bissaka as fullbacks. I'll be very shocked. I'll be very shocked and fucking surprised if he goes 4-4-2 again against Chelsea. If he does, then fair play. He's trying to have a go, but I don't know. I don't know which way the best. I don't know what the best scenario is in that game. Do we go there and try and be ultra negative? Do we go there and try and keep the scoreline down because of the goal difference, or do we go there and just try and fucking win the game? That's one answer that I just can't answer at the minute. I really can't. Excuse me. At least Paqueta has gone. The whole dynamic has changed. Listen, mate, I'm not even going to get into the Paqueta thing because it was only a week ago, was it? Or 2 weeks ago? People were saying about him. No, I think it was a week ago. Yeah, it was. Yeah. Week, 2 weeks. Can't remember when it was. But when he was apparently, people say, oh, yeah, he just wants to go home. Like, people making excuses for him, honestly. And the moment we lost against Nottingham Forest, he spoke to his team. He turned around and said he wants out. And that's why they're getting the move out of here. Nothing would give me greater pleasure if West Ham stay up this year because it'd be like a big fuck you to him. But it is what it is. We're going to cash in. We're going to get the dough. Um, it all depends on what we're going to do with it, though. That's the $1 million question here: is what are we going to do with the dough? Because we're going to need to replace him. Um, but who are we going to replace him with? Who's going to want to come to us in a relegation dogfight right now? And who's prepared to take the risk? That's the problem that we've got currently with West Ham, is that no one's prepared to come to us right now because of the shit situation we're in. And it's no fault of our own, is it? Don't know what that's about, but um, let's have a look. Any other things? You know what? I wouldn't mind West Ham trying to go in for Aidan Hackney. I really wouldn't. I would like. There's a geezer at Watford and all. I can't remember his fucking name, but he was mentioned. I don't know. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know what the scenario is. Let's have a look. Very disappointed about the lack of support for the protest by many season ticket holders. Why do you think that is, John? Why do you think that is? Do you think people don't want to protest it in that way because they don't want to affect the team? Thing is, with the protest, right? I don't think the protest is as strong as it once was. Do you know what I mean? The boycott. The thing is with the boycott, Sullivan got round that because the boycott was planned. Yeah, if that would have been a sharp boycott, just for argument's sake, we play Man United on the Tuesday night that's coming up in 2 weeks' time, I think it is. If, for instance, that it was a sharp boycott and they said on Sunday that there's going to be a massive boycott on the Tuesday game, then Sullivan wouldn't have had time to get seats sorted out in the ground and excuse me, allow the seats to go for cheap. That's what I'm trying to get across. I think with these boycotts right now and like the protest, I'm not a big fan of the card one. I don't think it does the damage for me. I don't think it sends the shockwave round. I think it's a slogan for people that want him out, which is good, but I don't think it will do the desired effect. I don't know why people are not sitting in behind after games. I don't understand why. Um, I don't understand why people are not boycotting games and things like that. But oh, it's because the situation that the clubs are in. The club's in such a shit situation. People want to go with their hearts and not their heads, and their heads and not their hearts. So, it is, yeah, it's a shit state. Just got to stay 2 points behind Leeds. I got this bad feeling that he will take us to the final game of the season. If so, as much as I don't like that stadium, I would go that game for me, for the team. No BS. Yeah, I know, mate. I know. Do you know what? Always fucking. I wish I would have done more years ago. Do you know what I mean? I was too busy rowing with YouTubers and things, and I should have just. What I've done, what I'm doing now is I'm doing my own thing, and I don't really give a shit about what anyone else is doing. I wish I would have took it further, and I wish I would have went to Hammers United myself years ago and said I've got these concerns and really sort of laid my card down on the table because I could see what was coming with fucking Sullivan. I really could. And the moment Lopetegui arrived, that was the start of it. And I was like, this is going to end bad. This is going to end so bad. And do you know what? I've still got hope. I really have. I've still got hope that West Ham can get out of it because one thing I've said and I've stuck by it is this club's got fight in it. And if the fan base are together, right, we can win games and get it done. We really can. It's just whether or not we're going to have the time to do that. Right. My fear right now is that will West Ham run out of time, and I hope they don't run out of time. That's the only thing I will say. And yeah, that's where my concerns are a little bit. What about Harvey Elliott? We were linked with him heavily. I don't think he'll come to us, mate. We can't get him on loan because he's played for Villa and Liverpool. He ain't going to come to us, mate. No chance. I would love to know what the percentage of the season ticket holders are from Upton Park days. I think there's a lot of new fans are the reason they're not protesting. Different generation, mate. I'll tell you what it is, Sonny, yeah? And shout out to Sonny because he come on the other week. All right, he's a good bloke. What it is this sort of. Do you remember when they was doing the concessions? Do you remember when they was going after the concessions? I reckon that would have happened before COVID. Once COVID hit, he couldn't do it, and it delayed it for about 2.5 years, if you remember rightly. Because I think that concessions thing would have been coming. The amount of grief that this club and these fans have had with this owner is borderline taking the piss. Isn't it? Let's be real, right? Everything is a pound note with this geezer. Do you know what I mean? Someone said something to me. I'll never forget what they said. David Sullivan knows the price of everything, but the value of nothing. And that stuck with me. Because this geezer's just fucking vermin, isn't he? Let's be real. And he stuck us in this situation. No one else. He stuck us in this situation. And yeah, he knows the value. He knows the price of everything and the value of nothing. Fucking prick, mate, honestly. What's all this then? James channeling peach vibes, evening all. No, I thought I'd just do a late one, mate. I thought I'd just do a late one. I don't mind doing these after hours shows because everyone's gonna sleep. And I can say what I like. Do you know what I'm saying? Right, let's get to Mark's comment. Where's Mark? I'm not having hope till one or two things happen. Either we are ahead of a team, not with the games in hand, etc. At the end of the game went one, or we are within 2 points of leads come the last game. However, I do believe now we can bang in 18 points. So let's keep the faith. I think we've got to beat the right teams at the right times, though, mate. That's the only thing I will say. There's no point us going to beating Chelsea then losing against Burnley. Do you know what I mean? So that's what we're going to have to do. Let's get to this comment from John. Johnski. We're all guilty of believing the BS behind us leaving the bowling. I never. I'll speak for myself. I never believed any of it, mate. If I'm honest, I was disappointed in 2016 to leave Upton Park. I really was, and I was adamant. I was like, "No, I'm not going to go over there." And the first year, I was like, "No, I'm not going over there." Yeah, because it's going to be hard for me to go over there. And then after when I started hearing things, I was like, "This cunt ain't getting none of my money. You ain't getting a pound, pence, or cent out of me." Do you know what I'm saying? And listen, I love West Ham. Fucking hell, like, I'm here all the time doing fucking things on YouTube. I like everyone to come on the channel. Um, you know, I fucking love this club, but I don't love fucking funding Sullivan's pockets, mate. And I fucking won't either at that rate. Because I think the way he's treated this fan base, right, is the exact same as how he treated Birmingham fans. And when I had Jay on here, the Birmingham fan, and I searched all over the fucking social media to try and find a Birmingham fan, yeah, and I found one. And when he come on here, as ironically, it was against. It was the day before. No, it was the afternoon before we played Chelsea at the LS because we played Chelsea It was a Friday night game, and we lost 5-1. And he told me everything that would happen at Birmingham, and it's the same thing. It's literally the same fucking thing, same pattern. Um, Tried to get the fan base on side, sold him a dream, all this shit. And then what he said to me was, which I'll never forget, and it did work because they was on the ropes, Sullivan and Brady and fucking everyone, was fan pressure will get them out. I don't think the fan pressure's there now, mate. If I'm being real, that fan pressure was intense. Palace game at home, protest. Burnley game, protest, powerful protest. That one, yeah. After that, dead. It's dead. It's just gone flat again, and you know that's where it's gone wrong for me. Uh, what's, always have hope, especially with this club. Fucking hell, we will beat Chelsea. It's the West Ham way. Fucking hell, mate. He's Joe. What? It wouldn't surprise you, mate. Mate, he wouldn't surprise me. Do you know what? I think Chelsea have got two games. Well, they got a game on Wednesday night. Then they got us. Then they got Arsenal on the Tuesday night in the Carabao Cup, and I think they're 3-2 down in that game, right? So I definitely think we can get something out of the fucking game. Definitely, I think it's whatever we get. Um, when it comes to players, some of the top six sides, we need a couple of their key players injured. Look what happened to Sunderland when Xhaka wasn't playing. That's a fair point. Like, I'm not being funny. If Dominic Calvert-Lewin goes down for Leeds, right, they're not the same side. If they lose a couple of their key players at any stage, but then saying that, the same can be said for us. If Bowen goes down or Mateus Fernandes goes down, then we're fucked and all. So the issue is we've got to get close to him. And this weekend this has gone by. It was a fucking choker, mate. For me personally, it was a joke. I was like, I cannot believe the way that's gone over the weekend. If you could pick a worse scenario, that was it. That was it. Like Forest winning, Leeds picking up a point. Do you know what I mean? If Leeds would have lost tonight and it would have been 5 points, I'd have been like, all right, cool, is what it is. But to let it go, right, it's just sickening, wouldn't it? Let's be real. Truly identify Birmingham was with Sully. We need to get the fan pressure and get him squirming. So what it is, mate, right? And I've always said this, and I respect Hammers United for what they do. I really do. I rate Paul a lot, and I've told him that. But I don't think these cards and things are going to do the damage, mate. Like, you need mass boycotts. You need to have a statement of intent. You need to have sharp boycotts. What it is with certain things is that they've always got a backup plan, Sullivan, and all that. They've always got a plan in place because they know what's happening because it gets mentioned too much on social media. They know what's coming and I see a banner saying, it's time to sell, name your price. But the problem is, right, he ain't going to go unless we throw him out the door. And I'm not even going to lose my rag on it, right? But yeah, like until we literally got to literally throw him out the door. We've got to force him out, really, because he ain't going nowhere. And this is when people tell me, and they say to me, Jay, if we go down, he'll be gone. Don't believe anything you hear on YouTube when they say that to you. Because something Simon Jordan said the other day, and I'm not his biggest fan, Simon Jordan, but some things he's bang on with, right? He said, there's no way Sullivan's selling that club, right? Why's at its lowest? Yeah. He's built that nest egg up, Sullivan, to a point. There's no way he's going to let that go into the championship and then sell. There's just no way, right? Unless he is literally thrown out the fucking door. I can't see it myself. I really can't. So, you know, one thing I'll say is on the cards and boycott, you'll never get a mass adoption overnight. It takes time. I'm seeing more banners, more cards every game. It doesn't take long till you get a big walkout. Yeah, I know, mate. I know. I think the cards are a subtle protest, quiet, like calm, yeah. But I don't think it does a side effect. Do you know what I mean? Not being funny, people really wanted him out. They'll be trying to get to the fucking director's box and throw him out. Do you know what I mean? And for some reason, he's not buckling, which I'm quite surprised with it. If I'm being honest, Palace are in 3-4. We need to just keep winning, and anything can happen. They are, mate. That's the only hope we've got is Palace. Like Palace are dropping like fucking stone in water. Um, so don't forget, James. They sold the women's team, which is supposedly funded Tati and Pablo. They've also sold Guilherme, got rid of Fulkrug, have a price tag over Alvarez, his head, and are selling Paqueta. Would you say, everyone in the chat, that is asset stripping? Because to me, it feels like it fucking is. It feels like he's pulling away everything. All right, what's happened? There's lots of acid stripping there. With a bit of luck, Willy Wonka may order Sullivan back to the chocolate factory. Fucking hell, mate. I'll chuck him in the chocolate. Fuck. Yeah, smother him in the shit. Let's get to fresh fielder. Leeds have Arsenal, Forest have, and Leeds have Arsenal, Forest, and Chelsea in the next 3 games. And we've got Chelsea, Burnley, United. Just need to. That's the thing. We need to win one of them games. That's like, no, like 2 of them games at least. Palace after next week have Wolves, Burnley at home within 2 weeks. If they fuck those games, we are in a massive race. But if they go and bang in 2 wins, then we will be out of it again. Yeah, that's true. Asset stripping at its finest. He's made us so unattractive as a purchase. No one will buy us, not for his valuation. That's a great comment. That's comment of the night. That one right there. That is very, very true, and that's a good way of looking at it. He's pouring away everything. So when people look at buying West Ham, they think, "Fuck me, they don't really look attractive." And the thing is, West Ham don't look attractive. That's the problem. Yeah, I mean, we don't own the fucking ground. We've got nothing really going for us at the minute, mate. That's the problem. And when I speak about this, yeah, I how can I put this? Because I need to say it in a politically correct way. When I say about Sullivan, yeah, you've got to be careful because obviously, I don't want to be liable or anything like that. But this is he's been like this for years. I mean, for a hell of a long time. Yeah, so much so that people would let it go. People would see what he's done, call him a cunt, and then move on. The issue with him is that is he trying to fucking reset the whole of West Ham by just getting rid of everyone? And he's got a pot of gold there, and he goes, right, I'm just gonna fucking pocket it all if West Ham go down. Because I think what it is, yeah, I don't even know what fucking Sullivan wants really, if I'm being honest. It's like, do you know what I mean? Because I see the interview he done the other day, and him saying about Champions League, and he wants this, he wants that. He's fucking so bad, mate. Do you know what I mean? And I wish I would have done more years ago. That's the only thing I will say. I wish I would have just shut my mouth on here and started to do things and speak to people. The problem is I didn't know anyone. I was a bit more I was more passionate about the situation then, yeah, because obviously I was fucking rambling with people, and the problem is when people was blaming managers, that's where it was irritating me because everyone's seen the light now. Like everyone's seen what the problem is, right? Because you can only go through manager after manager after fucking manager before you realise that he ain't the manager, it's the owner, and that's where it's come from. That's where it's come from, and people have seen the light now, which is a good thing. In my case, because now there's more voices to be heard. James, which centre back would you bring in, Mings or Cresswell? I think Cresswell's too much, mate. I don't think we're going to get him. If he was in the if we was mid-table, then I'll get Cresswell. I'll get Tyrone Mings in. Mings and Tadibo in a bad pairing. We'll just have to see. I actually think we can operate without a director of football. The same people who spent 15 million on Danny Ings, 30 million on James Ward-Prowse, think they can run a club without guidance. Yeah, very, very true. The asset's already gone. It's the name only now. Yeah. Joe, it's such a shame, isn't it? The thing is, I think it won't hit me until the end of the season. Because if West Ham do go down, I think I don't even know how I'm going to be. Yeah, I think I'm putting a sort of brave face on it right now and having this sort of positivity. Yeah, right, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. The issue is, if we do it, our aim has got to be over the summer to get this fucker out. Yeah, and if we don't do it, I don't even want to know where West Ham are going to be in 5 years. I really don't. Do you know what I'm saying? Because the club, and people say about you can build an atmosphere in the LS, right? I don't know. I've never been there, right? But no one's happy with that ground, right? No one really wants that fucking ground, and no one really asked for that ground either. It was like, you're moving now. You got to accept it. So I do worry about us if we end up in the championship. Yeah, because the championship's a fucking mess. Do you know what I mean? You're playing games consistently Monday night games, Tuesday night games, sort of every other week. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's a bit of a long one, really. This is what happens when teams around us play us after like 2003, when Bolton had all the remaining games after us. Very true, mate. Very true. I remember that clear as day. I remember Bolton just going on a mad one and managing just to win fucking games over and over again. Wasn't good. Is it too late? And is it actually our fault for taking this long to do something about it? Um, Good question. Good question. This should have been sorted out years ago. I think you're referring to Sullivan. Um, this should have been sorted out years ago, mate. This should have been sorted out straight after COVID. It should have been sorted out then that we should have asked for Sullivan to leave. I think I think people got a bit blindsided by Moyes. I really do, and I'll say it. And people, I actually think, and listen, whether you liked him or not, like saying a Moyes thing, but he set a standard there, right, which we should have progressed on to the next level. So we was competing for Europe. We got to semi-final, a quarter-final, final, right? People wanted him out, fine, yeah, but you got to bring in a manager that's going to go take us to the next level. He never does it. But Sullivan would never do it, because Sullivan does the same thing over and over again. He buys cheap. He doesn't buy anyone out of a contract. He wants yes men around him. He wants people that will, like, will bow down to him to a point. Do you know what I'm saying? And you've only got to look at this yourselves, right? Look at this yourselves right now. We've had 3 managers in 18 months. Where the fuck is the structure there? Do you know what I mean? Where's the vision there? Like, there's no vision, there's no structure, there's no fucking nothing. That's all. Sully's playing reality football manager. All these promises broken, like they're giving up some pop vendors a spot at Stratford. Joe, that's a great comment. Fucking, that's a great comment. I remember playing pool in Stratford many years ago. And I used to play in a pub in Stratford. It's no longer there now. And I remember all the people that used to say that, like, they was hearing stories about like the Pie Mash place, even the Bowling, I think it was in Queens. There was an opportunity for both of them to go over there and have a spot, like the bowling corner, and something to do with the Queens and all the pubs, and it was just all bollocks because they never had the right to do that because they don't own the ground, and we should have seen this a long time ago. That's the problem, and I think we're in a situation where I just don't think Sullivan's going to go unless we literally force him out the fucking door. And that's the way I look at it. Let's get to a few more comments. Got some good comments coming in. If we stay up, James, I feel like in the summer we won't be able to buy unless we sell first because it feels like they're scraping the money to find for this window. Maybe if we sell up as a result, I don't think he'll sell up, Benny. There's no way he sells up in the Championship, mate. No way. No way. I just can't see it. Would you, if you value your club, right? Let's put it this way: he values it about 800 million, West Ham, which is fucking laughable. If he goes into the Championship, he's only gonna get about 200, maybe 300 max. There's no way he's letting 500 million go. I know that for certain. That ain't happening. My dad had a season ticket at Upton Park till 2016, and since we have moved to that stadium, he's only been once a year. He went to the Conference League final. He hates going into that shithole. That's what I'm saying, man. Oh, see, what? That's a valid point from Henry, yeah. Because the amount of people that I've spoke to in person and doing this, like, and obviously I had people on here who have been like fucking season ticket holders consistently, and they've slowly faded away each time. Now you can look at this on two aspects, right? You can look at this and say that is it a change of the generation now? Right? Is the generation changing a little bit where the younger fans don't give a fuck because they weren't affected by Upton Park? That's a question that needs to be asked also. And what Sullivan has done, in my honest opinion, and he's done it very fucking smoothly, yeah, is he's diluted the fan base down. That's what he's done. He's managed to get out all the old school West Ham fans, the ones who were fucking loyal West Ham fans. I mean, like, there's no way a West Ham fan at Upton Park would refuse to go to the ground. No way. No way. And what Sullivan's done is he's diluted the fan base down to his own game. And he's allowed it to put people in the ground who don't necessarily have to be West Ham fans. That's another thing that I think is highly unacceptable. And I've had many debates with YouTubers on that. I remember having a debate with a YouTuber who used to be on Hammer's Chat many moons ago about that. And he said, well, no, it doesn't matter. And I was like, well, it does. Because if you're sitting in a row and to your right is a Man United fan, to the left is a Chelsea fan, how the fuck are you supposed to build an atmosphere up with that? Do you know what I mean? When West Ham lose, for me, it hurts. Yeah. I would imagine when West Ham lose for you, it hurts. Right? To these people left and right of me, they don't give a fuck, mate. Do you know what I'm saying? They don't care. Do you know what I mean? If anything, they find it funny. So, let's get to Kev's comment. Pundits go on about the trophy, but say nothing about them getting us relegated. Apart from the 2 seasons we've been wrong, end of the table, I fear he will leave us to his kids. I've never felt so low before. Well, see, that is a possibility, isn't it? Imagine if he fucking leaves it to his kids. James, generally, for the 2 reasons, I can see why he would sell. Gold shares get sold as an existing board member, making him second in command, almost 200 million from Bolin sell. Where is that? It's a lot more than that, mate. I know that for certain. Anyone remember when I done the video? Anyone remember when I done the walk around at Upton Park on the Friday before the Crystal Palace game? And I bumped into a West Ham fan and he recognised me. He said, "Oh, the first thing he said to me was, he goes, do you do YouTube, mate?" I was like, oh mate, how's this gonna go? Because if he says I'm a cunt, then I'm not gonna back down. So I was like, yeah, like that, yeah. And he was like, yeah, I've seen your stuff. You do some good stuff. I was like, all right, cheers, mate. And he was basically telling me about this sale of Upton Park. It was in like a Phoenix group or something, and they folded the company and all that. I don't really know much about it, but other people know a lot more about it than me. And yeah, they're fucking bastards, mate. Honestly, let's get to exponential anger. I love this club and I love this fan base. So this hurts to say, but if the younger fans don't give a fuck, it's our fault. We gave a fuck because the generation before us passed it on. It's sad, but true. That's fucking so true, mate. I don't, me personally, right? This is my own opinion. I don't think the younger generation get it about Upton Park. And to give it another 5 years, that will be 15 years away from Upton Park. So as the years go on, the next generation come through. So someone who was maybe 10 years ago is 20 now. They've got no feeling towards Upton Park. Yeah. And they don't understand what it meant. Yeah. To us, and I'm in my late 30s. Yeah. It meant the world. But it's not so much leaving Upton Park because listen, if that ground was rebuilt and it was a football purpose stadium, people would get behind it. But there's nothing. Every time I've looked at that ground, and I've been down to Stratford, right, I've jumped on the old tube and I've gone down there, and I've had a look round, and I look at it and I think there's just no vibe there for me. It's just no vibe there. And someone said it to me the other day, funny enough. They said, Jay, every time I go down there, mate, it feels like I'm just going to an event. It just doesn't feel like a stadium to me. And I'm glad I don't go over there in one way because if I walked in there and I was like that and it didn't feel right to me, oh, it sent chills down my spine, mate. 100%. The younger generation have no clue what football looked like. Fortress Hudson Park, that ground was a yes, it most certainly was. Um, Tatty and Wilson maybe try that out for a longer part of the game. Could work well. Wilson is clinical as fuck. Well, we're going to need him there, mate. We're going to need him there. I know that for certain. Chuck in your final comments. Fucking, I've done an hour. I was only going to do half an hour. Chuck in your final comments. I'll read them out. Anything you want to ask. I'll go for another 12 minutes and I'll wrap this up at 12 UK time. So yeah, chuck anything you want to say. If you want to call me a prick, you may. You are allowed to. It's the late night show. So there you go. They didn't they sell it for something like 38 million to a shell company and then got it turned around for a massive profit. I think it was something like that, mate. I think on about the ground, Upton Park. Yeah, it was a Phoenix group. I remember the Phoenix saying on it, but I'm not against the stadium. I'm against the decision they made. They make Lopetegui, for example. 99% of the fan base were against it, and they still went ahead with it. Do you know what? I knew Lopetegui was on his fucking way, and when he was announced, I was like, chucking 150 million at a geezer. Fucking hell, it's a joke, isn't it? Really? Trev's in the chat. Shout out to Trev. Hope you're well, mate. Hi, James. If we go down, I don't think we'll keep Bowen. No, I ain't keeping Bowen, mate. Somerville or Fernandez. None of them three players mentioned will be at West Ham next season, etc. Even if they wanted to stay, they'll be sold off of valuable assets and cash in. Well, Fernandez is fucking worth a ton of dough, mate. He's worth double. He's worth double what we paid for him. 100%. So, you know, fresh fielder question. Do you still do still head BSE way, James. Uh, I don't know what that is, mate. BSE way, James. Only asking if to see if you've tried out Mister's T's pie mash shop up there. What's BSE way? Oh, help me out, fresh. It's late. It's late. Unless I'm completely missing the fucking Basildon Essex. I don't know. I don't know. Bury St Edmunds. I don't know. Is there one in Bury? Do you still go Bury St Edmunds way, James? Only asking to see if you tried out the T's pie mash shop up there. I didn't know. There was a pie mash shop up there, mate. Oh, fresh. I will try it out, mate. Next time I'm up there. So yeah, I have to try it out fresh. What this fucks about. I'd love to be in a position to build a midfield around Fernandez. Fucking no hope, mate. We got no hope. Yeah, he's a class player, though. He really is. He really is. He's a little gem. Henry. I'm 20. My dad took me to the last ever game at Upton Park, and I can't really remember what it was like. All I know, it was fucking loud. And it was a fault. It was a fortress. Now, when I go with my mates, it's not the same at all. Mm. Do you know what, mate? One day, one day when Sullivan goes right, and we've got someone in charge. I think one thing the fan base have got to learn from this, right? Just to say this, they've got to learn the mistakes from this David Sullivan era because he will go. There's no two ways about it. Sullivan will be gone from West Ham. I've no doubt about that. But it's just a case of when it will be. That is more to the point. And I think that certain things, whenever a new owner comes in, have to be put into place. Right. For me, right, the first thing that I want to see at West Ham is structure at this club. I need to see a vision. I need to see ambition. I need to see like a director of football to come in. I need to see what they're trying to do with players. Are they going down the Brighton model or the Bournemouth model? Will they buy players for cheap, sell them on for vast amounts? Structure. I need to see structure. The ground, I think, would need to be spoken about, 100%. I think as a fan base, we all have to have our say on that. Yeah, everyone needs to have their say. Everyone needs to say their bit and say what they want from a new ownership. Now, when people say about building a new ground, it's not as easy as that. It's not as easy as just, oh yeah, we've just got to plonk a new ground. Because if the ground was in Dagenham, for instance, no one would like it. Yeah. Because it's not in East London. And there's not really many places in East London where you can go and just build a fucking 45, 50,000 seat stadium. I think what West Ham have got to do, and the new owners have got to do, for me personally, I think they need to buy the stadium. I think they need to own the stadium. And yes, it will cost them a bit more long term, but they will own it and they can restructure it the way they want it. That's the only way, I think. There's no other way. Them renting it right now, like, it's just not on. So, that's the things that need to change for me. And making it more identifying with the history of the club and not West Ham fucking London. Do you know what I mean? I'm glad my girls 10, 11 got to see games at Upton Park, Noble's testimonial game. Yeah, I know, mate. I know. I remember going to Alvin Martin's testimonial. Fuck me, 1995, I think. Was it 5 or 6? I can't remember. All I remember is it was 4-3 Chelsea. It was West Ham versus Chelsea. And I remember John Spencer scoring the goal for Chelsea. Yeah, we had Cotty, we had Bishop, Moncur. Was Moncur playing? I can't remember. I know Bishop's playing. Michael Hughes, one of my most favourite players, mate. Northern Irishman. Do you know what I'm saying? No, no, you weren't, James. James Alvin might have said, "Man, mate, oh yeah, I was there. I was fucking. I was only a young kid. I think I must have only been about 8 or 9. Fucking hell. Yeah, I mean, look at me now. I look haggard. Look fucked. You know what I'm saying? That's the difficulty with East London. No room for a new stadium. Stratford has a lot of space which could be used wisely. Someone bought it. I think that's the only way you're going to do it, mate. If you want me to be truthfully honest, that's the only way that you're going to get around building a new stadium because you got the structure there. You just got to reshape it. If I'm honest, um, you know. Cheers, James. My roast potatoes and soup beans are done. Fair enough, mate. The stadium should cost an million quid to take it off his hands. He's hemorrhaging money. That's what he's done, though, Fresh. What he done, I'll tell you exactly what he done. He thought he'll wait for the LLDC to fall apart and he'll get it for fucking peanuts. That's what he does, isn't it? Let's be real. And where it hasn't fallen apart, and something to do with Sadiq Khan and all that fucking prick. He doesn't want to sell it to Sullivan for some reason. Right, so I've got no idea what the fuck's that's about. Two wankers in the same room, mate. You know what I mean? Two wankers, one bullet. But what you doing with it? Do you know what I'm saying? Daz, hope you're well, mate. Shout out to Daz. What's this here? It's just evaded me. Where's that comment gone? Okay, I'll get to Dan. Dan, I'll get to your comment in a minute, mate. I got my head touched by Begovic. Loved him, wanted his autograph, but was too late. Said I'll never wash my hair again. Fair enough, mate. Kingy, fair enough. Feels like we've gone back to the old West Ham in terms of recruitment. Throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. Only person I see build this side, let's see, way is was Moyes. Thought he overlooked age. Yeah, I know. I think it did help that we did have Declan Rice in the middle of the park, though. That's one thing I will say. Right, let's get to Danny's comment, and that's the final comment of the night for me. How many more signings do you think we need? I think we need 3, mate. 2 or 3. If we get 2, I can accept it. 3 would be great. I think we need a centre half. I think we're going to bring in Toyore, which is whatever. I think we need one more. I think we need one more after that, and go from there. Do you know what I'm saying? Just need to fucking have some strength on the bench because a couple of injuries, then we're right up against it. But we definitely need a centre half at this club. Someone who can come in and play games and basically help the team out to improve because we need to keep a clean sheet. Like we just can't keep fucking clean sheets at the minute. So that's bad in itself. So, you know, good question, this one. James, would you take Saudi owners? Do you think it would ever happen? I'll take whoever, mate. Yeah, I mean, as long as they benefit West Ham, right, for the better, yeah, I don't care who's in charge. Because when you've had David Sullivan in charge, can it get any worse? Like, and you know what? There's people, right, and Sean's the worst one. Everyone knows who I'm on about. Everyone knows who I'm on about when I say Sean. Sean and Sullivan. He's the worst one, mate. Because he's so far fucking Sullivan's ass, mate. And there's certain man that I'll listen, I can't wait for Sullivan to go. I generally can't because when Sullivan does fuck off from this club, I hope certain man fuck off with him because, you know, it is the way they carry on. And the amount of fucking support Sullivan gets and all. It gets miles too much support. Even in the ground, from what I've been hearing from people. Uh, but yeah. Wouldn't take anyone. We could end up with Jimmy Savile in charge. Well, we've already got his brother, Sullivan Savile. You know what I mean? Right, ladies and gentlemen, that is me done, mate. I've done an hour and 15 minutes. I was only going to do an half-hour quick video and turned into an hour and 15. I do appreciate you. I will say that. If you're new around here, please do smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel and all that. And I will be back soon, hopefully with some transfer news. I will see what's happening tomorrow and go from there. I don't mind doing these late night videos. I really don't. I quite enjoy them because people are sort of sitting there chilling out or getting ready for bed or whatever, and they're just on the old fucking chat. And with me, I'm like a night owl. I do struggle to sleep sometimes, so this is nice little therapy. But yeah. Anyway, I will let you go and get some R&R, and I will see you again in the next one. Peace.